Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Sean Anthony Baker about Swagger dropping Friday, October 29th on AppleTV Plus. Welcome to the show, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
I love this series. I can't wait for everyone to see it. I got a chance to talk to a few of your co-stars on the press day. I mean, Tale of Two Shows a little bit here, Sean. I mean, it is about basketball. That's kind of the focal point. If you look at the whole other side of things, it's not about basketball at all. It's about life. What is it? What's it like being part of a show like this that has those two kind of tales of two shows a little bit?
Oh my gosh. Well, you said it. It's like you're watching a show that's about life. It just happens to, and people happen to be playing basketball in it, right? Like basketball is part of it. And honestly, it's my honor, it's my pleasure to be a part of this. I love being able to tell the stories and narratives of people in this, especially in this realm for those that have played in the youth basketball teams and what they've been through and what their parents go through, and then not just that, but then there's real life that's happening all around us. And so, what is that to go through a maze and figure out, how to get through the obstacles in life. And so this is what this show is about. And it's really about life. It just happens to be about a bunch of talented kids that know how to ball.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where it's kind of hard to do an interview like this because I've seen it. I mean, have you seen it yet?
I have.
You have. So we've seen it, but like the audience hasn't seen it, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you play Naim Rahim, who is the assistant coach of Swagger.
Yes.
And I was telling you before we started, I love your character. Can you tell us a little bit about this character so my viewers can meet? I mean, he's a great guy. He's there for his team. He's there for his family. Just a great all-around guy, Naim Rahim.
He really is. I really hope that I can live up to the character. No, but I connect with the character in a lot of ways. Again, my hats off to the whole writing team, especially our leader, Reggie Rockwood. They created something beautiful with this, and the character Naim, he cares for a community, as well as his family, as well as the team. I mean, he believes in uplifting the youth and the people around him, and he's out, and again, he's also very supportive of Ike and what he has to go through coming back into the game, being the icon that he was, that he is, and he's and a shout out to O'Shea, for bringing that to life. So it made it. Honestly, like Naim is the person that he's that guy. He's your support. Yeah. You want him in your corner if you got to go face things and face the hard things in life. And
he's there for everyone.
He's there for everybody, and I relate to him. Yeah, I relate to that because I'm partly that guy.
It's interesting as well too because again we don't want to give away that much away, but we talked about how a show about basketball, but not really about basketball. Follow-up question to that, Sean: what's it like being on a show that tackles so many important issues? Like that's one thing I got from it as well. It's not like it's just kind of tackling one or two things. Right. Watch this show. They're going to watch season 1. You got everything in there. They packed everything in there.
They packed everything in there. And again, like I tell you, what it feels like it's necessary.
Yep.
And it feels like it's time. And I feel that again, Reggie and the team did a wonderful. Reggie, Alex Hall, the writing, and the way that we're telling the stories, because that's our job as the actors, is to help tell the story.
Yep.
But what they wanted to address in terms of community, in terms of social issues, in terms of what happens, again, not just on the court, but off the court, what kids go through, and being able to communicate, talk about your problems, being able to ask for help and get help and not feel ashamed about it.
Oh, absolutely.
All of these things are addressed. Peer pressure, social media.
Like Ike says, outside noise, right?
Outside noise.
I think that's going to be the big thing to take away too, eh? Like the outside noise, right?
Pete, there's gonna be a lot of takeaways in this. I promise you. Like you'll go through the whole season, they're gonna be like, wait a minute, what did Coach Ike say?
It's an emotional ride, but it's important that there's no time that's wasted and that all these things are addressed. Like you said, it's time. It's going to be an emotional watch some episodes as well.
Oh, yes, absolutely. 100%. Yeah. And I think people will have, I feel the audience will take away from this, from watching the episodes, from watching this whole season. Yep. I feel the big takeaway is going to be understanding that when we're human, it's
Yep.
okay to go through things, understanding that life as it is, almost like a maze,
Yep.
it's okay for us to kind of go through it and not understand exactly where we're going. We have to find our way on this journey, on this journey called life. So
In terms of the scripts and everything, like what were you privy to in terms of, because I'm sure a lot of you you auditioned for the characters, you got the roles, you know what to expect. Did
Right.
you know it was going to be what it was experience-wise for you making the show?
no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I don't think if you ask any of the cast outside of physical preparation for those that had to train
For basketball, yeah.
for basketball, shout out to Reggie Wallis, like they had to get into this, right? Those that were not bald, of course, Zay, top notch, like that kid's amazing. So I think, but there was nothing that could prepare you for what we were experiencing as a family, and we became very close family. We are family right now, so it's like we went through everything with this show, the ups and the downs, and understanding what we had to do to bring these characters to life and tell the story. Like there was so much that we had to understand about, and changes were made during us shooting this, because we had to understand that life was happening outside of this, right?
Yep.
Outside of just shooting a show, and we had to kind of tailor ourselves to.
That's interesting. Like adapt to everything.
We had to, and even in telling that, I think that's also what's going to be really interesting in watching this. The audience will get to see kind of like a chronological transition of what was
Did
going
you shoot
on
this during the pandemic, or did it start before the pandemic?
We started before, and then we had to push our way through.
There was a break, right?
I'm sorry?
Was there a break between, or like,
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, there was a break, and
Okay.
we had to, again, because the whole world just shut down, and we had to figure it out.
Yeah.
But once we started to figure it out, and again, hats off to again, Reggie, hats off to Apple, hats off to the studios that just continued to push and work with one another, because we know we had something great here and we wanted to get it done.
It's interesting as well, because obviously we don't want to say too much about certain things because we want people to watch and keep watching. But in the first episode, they will see the Ike and Naim dynamic is unbelievable, and it's full speed ahead, and they're there for each other. That's amazing. What was it like working with O'Shea Jackson Jr. in that capacity?
That man is crazy. No, and I say crazy in a great way. He knows that's my brother. He's an amazing talent, an amazing human being. He came on that set, and and we have so many funny stories with that. But his knowledge of basketball, first of all, is he's a huge LA Lakers.
Oh,
fan,
he
so,
let me know. I spoke to him in the junket. He let me know.
Yeah, he let you know. Go Lakers. So go Lakers and wear some colors here. So but outside of his knowledge of basketball, just a great human being to work with. There wasn't a dull day on set with O'Shea. You'll find sneakers on the floor. You'll find he's drinking coffee, and noise will come from like left and right on set. But he made it enjoyable to be there, and the kids loved him. We loved him. We just bonded so well. But again, great. He pulled everything in.
Yeah, absolutely. He mentioned there was like shooting some hoops in between takes and everything. I do want to know, were there any, because this is what I think. You have all these kids that a lot of them play basketball, a lot of them learn it, so they're ready to go. Were there any like games that happened? Like, did you guys ever break out and like play like a 3-on-3? Like, it's one thing like to shoot some hoops.
Listen, first of all, the kids, because of course, sometimes there were times that we had to do things that were scripted, of course, to tell the story. But again, we're working with ballers here, so they're like, yo, can we ball out? Like when we get, and sometimes that happened, and there were times that the directors, and kind of hey, listen, let it go, be free, because there were times we were able to catch some moments that we wanted to make sure that in telling the story, maintain the authenticity. And that's what was happening even in playing. So absolutely, games broke out. Not really 3-on-3, but the kids just started balling. And then of course we had freestyles, and there was a lot going on. It was a family affair.
Absolutely. Was it an emotional, like, because you prepare yourself to as much as you can, Sean, because a lot of it's going to be heavy subject matter, especially some episodes they're going to see.
Yeah.
Is it one of those things where, you're all professionals and everything? Some of the stuff is very difficult probably to shoot.
Yeah.
Was that something that you kind of thought of? Did you kind of talk to everyone about it? Like, there was some heavy subject matter in specific episodes on that. So I'm just curious of, you know what to expect. It's in the script, but in terms of actually going and doing it, was that an overall emotional experience for you and the cast in some episodes?
In some episodes, absolutely. I mean, or funny enough, because even in watching some of the episodes, after, of course, everything was edited and we got a chance to, it was emotional watching it.
Yep.
Even though we knew what would happen, we were on set.
Yeah, that's the thing too.
Yeah, like, we're going through it, and like we were going through it again, but we had a very great support team. Again, Reggie, Alex, everybody, all of the directors understood. Najla McMean, like we everybody understood the assignment, and everybody understood what it would take to get there. So we were, again, great actors. We're talking about Quvenzhané. We're talking about Caleel Harris. We're talking about Tessa Ferrer. So, like, we are working with, Shanelle. So we're working with people that understand the assignment, but we had a great support team that understood that we needed to find our way in getting there. And they allowed that. They allowed us to be in touch with what we needed to be in touch with in order to tell the story, and do that successfully and carefully and respectfully too. And knowing, like you said, a lot of touchy.
But part of this profession is obviously watching a lot of TV and a lot of movies, right? Because you have to do interviews and everything. I don't think, for me personally, like, I can't think of a show that tackles so many things in one season. That to me is just like, I can't, like, people need to see it. That's why I want to interview as much of the cast as I can. And I want to support, because you all deserve it. People need to watch Swagger on Apple TV Plus. Like, they got it.
I agree with you 100%, Peter.
No, I'm just saying, I went into this watching this, and a couple of the episodes feel like a movie. Like, you feel like you're watching like a full movie in some of these episodes.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
did it feel like making a movie at times?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. There were just moments where, again, we caught ourselves, especially like that one episode that you saw, the Radicals, and it was surreal. Yeah, because we were recreating certain things that it happens in real life, and it was like art imitating life, life imitating art. We were in those worlds, and things were literally, and those things were happening at that moment in time. So for it to be cinematic, and we're creating it, it's like, oh yeah, this is interesting. This is very interesting.
And this is a question I always ask at the end of my interviews. They're going to be able to watch it on Apple TV Plus. We talked about it throughout the interview, but I want to give you the opportunity. When people watch Swagger on Apple TV Plus, what are you hoping they get out of it specifically?
I'm going to say but I am hoping personally that what they take away from this, what they get out of watching Swagger on Apple TV Plus,
October 29th.
October 29th. That's tomorrow, Friday, depending on when you see this. What I hope and what I believe that they'll take away from this is, do not give up. You are going to be able to find your way on this journey of life. Do not give up. Resilience, persistence, know when to keep going, and don't give up. Because you will find your why, you will find your determination. You'll find your destiny, but don't give up.
And again, I want people to see it, so I don't want to go into spoilers or anything. So we talked about a good amount of it, but like, they gotta watch it on Apple TV Plus, because it's an amazing. Sean, thank you so much for coming on Popternative. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you. And thank you for the support. And thank you for enjoying the show. More to come.
Absolutely. So Apple TV Plus, October 29th, it's going to drop. Where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Follow me on IG. I'm Sean Baker online. That's SeanBaker online. On Twitter, I am the Sean Baker. And on Facebook, I'm Sean Baker. So just Google me and you'll find me. Nice and easy.
Amazing. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. You're going to be able to catch Sean Anthony Baker as Naim Rahim in Swagger, October 29th on Apple TV Plus. Until next time, this is Sean and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.